Hi everybody, it's Eileen from Now There's a Crafty Idea, and I'm here with just a little tutorial craft along, and I just thought that you might like to see one of the things that I've been working on. So I think I told you in a previous video, I managed to get a whole pack of these window envelopes from a craft store. And so I've been working out different ways of using them, because normally I don't have a lot of them. Using the ones that come through the door, we don't get a lot of mail, and even fewer with the little windows. So I normally don't get a chance to play with them, but now I do. So I've come up with these ideas. So I've made it into a little file folder thing, and you open it up, and then inside you've got a tag. And the good thing is this will go onto your page as a pocket, and then your tag's more writing space, and then that becomes your little focal point in your window. And then you would glue that on. You can glue it on as a side, well, you would have to glue it on as a tuck or as a pocket if you're going to do it that way, but I have come up with another way of doing it. So this is the same thing. I've just cut it into the file folder shape, and then instead of having the tag come off, I've attached it. So you've got your writing space here, and then there's writing space here, and then you've got your little focal point, and then you could have that as a side tuck or that way, or a top loader, or just a side like a little tuck. And I've done the same with this one. With this one I've used Gail Agostinelli's beautiful, I think it's called Ye Old Timey, I'm not sure, I will put a link anyway. And then you open it up, and then you've got all of this lovely writing space and all of this writing space, and then when you close it, it's got a nice focal point, and you can have it as a tuck or a pocket. Now I've been putting together a signature, and I've already popped one in because I wanted to see what it would be like. So this is the one with the detachable tag. So I've put it on as a tuck, so you can you can pop your ephemera behind it, and then of course you've got your little tag that comes out with all the journaling space. Oops. And then, excuse me, and then that becomes then your focal point. So I think it's a nice way of using them. It's a different way of using them, and I just thought, let's have fun. Let's try some new things. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So I'll show you how I achieve this. Now I know that some of you have the cutters, the envelope cutters, and that you can use them to create these file folder shapes. I don't, so I've literally just drawn a template with some I think this is a cereal box, and I've just drawn the template, and I am basically just going to decide where I want the top tab. So you can have it top or bottom depending on what you want. I don't think it really makes that much difference. I'm just going to grab my pencil because I put it away and as per, I can never find anything once I've put it away. I was laughing because Alice, one of our subscribers, reminded me not to put things away because I always lose them. Hi Alice. She had me giggling. So all I've done is I've cut round the envelope. So I sealed it at the top, cut round it so that it just opens up, and then it's as simple as just lining it up. Like I said, if you've got a tool that does this for you, that's great, fantastic. But I don't, and I rely on templates. It's the way I've always done my crafting. If I want something, I make a template, and I'm just simply going to draw around it. It doesn't matter about the draw lines, about the pencil line, because that's going to just disappear underneath your collage. Now you're thinking, but Eileen, you want two tabs opposite each other. This is where it gets clever. So this is why you've got to make sure you put your template at the top of the page, because now we're going to flip it over and we're going to make it so that the tab's going to be at the top. Line it up with the top of the page and just go around it again. And these templates are so easy to make. If you haven't got a file folder to draw around, then just make one. It doesn't have to be perfect. I've just drawn this myself. I used a rule. It's not perfect, you can see it's a little bit squiddly, but I don't care. Now we're just going to cut that out. And in true Blue Peter fashion, I've already got one that I've cut out, because you don't need to watch me to do the cutting out. So there we go. Now the bottom of the envelope, don't throw that away, because that's going to become your tag, because you've got all this lovely white writing space on that side. Oh, I'm off camera a bit. And then, you know, you can, once you've collaged on it, because you don't want it to be too heavy, you can glue that in there if you're going to do the glued in type, and it's, you know, it's going to be fine. That's going to be where your focal point's going to be. So once it's cut out, that's what you're left with, and you've got your nice window in the right place. And you know, this works on a multitude of different windows. You can see these ones are different windows, because I've used various different envelopes, and you can see this one's a bit bigger because I wanted to make it wider for the journal I'm going to put it in. These ones are just the standard size of that template. If you want to make it bigger, you just simply move your template up, but make sure you mark where you've put it so that when you do the other side it's corresponding. There we go. Right, now let's get some things to collage with, and I'm just going to grab a few bits and pieces. When I say a few bits and pieces, yeah, you know me. I don't do a few bits and pieces, I do everything or nothing. Right, where did I put my glue book? Let's find ya. There we are, you'll do. And let's just get started, and we're just going to collage. Now the inside you can do with coffee dyed paper, which I do have some scraps somewhere, I think. Or I've got some of that nice packaging paper if I can't find it. I've just been working with some, and got it. There we are, scraps. So let's do the inside, and I mean, you can cover it with one big piece if you want. You know, this is all just, when it comes down to the collage, it's all just how you want to do it. Personally, I'm just going to use the scraps I've got because I think it's easier and it uses up my scraps. So I think what I'll do is, there we go. So yeah, it's nice to have like a few extras of things so that you can sit and play and, you know, come up with different things to do with them, because sometimes things are too precious to be able to just mess about with. And I tend to keep all of my window envelopes. In fact, I'm getting wrong, because I tend to open people's letters for them. Nobody's allowed to open a letter in our house now, in case they damage the envelope. So whenever anybody gets a letter now, I'm like, no, don't you dare open it, give us an ear. And I'm getting wrong now, saying you really shouldn't be opening my letters, Mum. But they're standing there with me. It's not like I'm looking at the letters. I'm just getting the envelopes off them. You know, when people tear into an envelope that could be used for something, it just, I'm like, oh, don't do that. I can open it without having to destroy it. But now I know I can buy them, I'm not bothered. They can have the letters back now. Oh dear me. Life of a crafter, eh? Hashtag. So this gets a bit tedious, all this cutting around it, but the end result is worth it. It really is, because you're going to end up with something so cute and original, as far as I know. If you have seen this somewhere else, then fair enough. This just came to me when I was playing, but you know, great minds think alike. So maybe somebody has already done these and I don't know about it. Let me know if you've seen them somewhere else, and then I can give credit to whoever is doing them, because I like to give credit. So just another strip, and we'll just keep going until we've got it all covered. You can collage this. On a couple of them I have collaged them, and I've used papers that are okay to write on, because I mean it doesn't have to be a writing space if you don't want it to be. I just like to have extra writing spaces, and so, you know, I kind of like to collage them with the coffee dyed paper. Let's find a little strip. Now this is off a book page, which is fine because I like to have a little bit of a patchwork effect going on. Yeah, I like to collage them with paper you can write on, because it's another little writing space, isn't it? And you know, that's important in your journals, especially if you like to heavily decorate, which I do, to turn the decorations into collage spots. No, sorry, to turn the decorations into writing spots. I'll get there eventually. It's morning. My brain doesn't generally wake up until lunchtime. So if I talk twaddle, it's okay. The caffeine hasn't worked yet. Oh, you know, it's just a struggle, isn't it? Every day. Getting out of bed. You know, when I was younger, I used to jump out of bed on a morning and run and get washed and get dressed and straight downstairs and have breakfast and greet the world and full of energy, and now I'm like, eh. Is it just me? Is it? Because like I feel like I've just lost my morning mojo. It really does disappear with age, I think. I mean, yeah. Gone are the days when I was joyful to see the sunrise. Now it's like, oh God, it's that time again. Do I have to people today? I don't want to people today. Can I just people tomorrow instead? Yeah. People I don't mind. It's like, it's having to produce a sentence to show like that your brain's actually working. That's the thing that gets me. I am a cheerful person. I'm not a grumpy person on a morning. I'm just not an awake person on a morning anymore. Anybody else feel that? Because yeah, I certainly do. Oh, that's a nice piece, isn't it? I like that. Not quite big enough to cover that though. We want something a little bit wider. That's not quite long enough. It's a bit plainer, but it'll work. Yeah, okay, you'll work. That didn't work. My sister, I don't know if you watched me previous video, my sister popped in to the video and she told me she's bought me a tear rule. Yay! I'm so happy. It's like, I'm gonna have a tear rule. Yeah, she's just waiting for it to arrive. Which I can't wait to try. But I do love my Roman rule. I've had that since school. I'm a sentimental person. We went to the Abora Roman fort on a school trip, and that's where I bought it. I think it's either that or this is one of the kids' ones that they bought back, because we all ended up buying the same rule. Oh no, well that doesn't work, does it? Let's turn you around and see if I can save that. No, that's not going to be saved. Okay, try again. Just as well I've got lots of scraps, isn't it? Right. Let's just go it on. Oh, that's a nice side. I like that side better. Get rid of this glue page because it's getting sticky. That'd make a nice size tag for in there, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. Keep that in mind. Oops. Oh, Mornings, mornings. Well, I haven't seen my happy little friend again. He hasn't been to leave me any more happy little messages. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, if you haven't seen the previous videos, I left my craft room window open the other day to let the fresh air in, and I had a happy little visitor who left me a happy little present, well, a few happy little presents on my craft table before then exiting through said window. So the whole craft room had to get scrubbed out because of the happy little presents that I received. Yeah, but he hasn't been back. I did put the lottery on, but nothing came of it. Yeah. Still, I'm taking it as a, you know, a happy thing that the birds are back, and it's nice to see them. Now I'm just going to put this crease back in before we do the outside. Okay. And then we just need to trim off any bits that are sticking out. I mean, you can leave this to the end, but it becomes a bit more difficult when you're trimming through 2 layers. Now, unless you want this to be a floating pocket, and that would be perfectly fine. Let's see, let's find one. If you had your journal, I'm just looking for me little journal pages. You could very easily pop this, let's find a page that's got a bit of decoration on. You could very easily pop this over your page to highlight a part of your decoration and clip it on, and that would be lovely as well, because then it's you know, it's perfect. So in that case you would want to collage both sides, but because I'm going to use these as pockets, I'm only collaging one side. That's gone a little bit skewy, but that's fine, it'll settle down once it gets pressed. Let's just move these coffee dyed scraps, and then we can get on to decorating. And I have tons and tons of scraps for decorating, like unbelievable amounts. But let's start some fresh ones. Let's see, what have we got here? That's nice, I like you. I like a bit of music paper. Oh, that's nice and spring, isn't it? Let's have, you're pretty, and I like this script. Oh, there's a little bit of blue. Right, there's a few little bits there. Oh, a tiny bit of script. Okay, we do have some more script somewhere, if I could find it. Oh, this is the problem when you've got too many scraps. Actually, we'll start on you, I think. Right, okay. Now, this is the same as if you're making these into pockets, you know, just, that's more interesting. Just collage them like you would if you were making them into pockets or tucks. I'm just going to take the edges off this, then we can decide where we want it. I think we'll use you on the bottom. That should be about right. There we go. Is that about right? That's about right. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to come down the side with some more. There we go. Yeah, just treat these like you would any time you're working with these envelopes. Actually, that's the wrong way up. When you're collaging them for other projects, you know, it's exactly the same, apart from you want to make sure you don't collage it together, which I've done. Yeah, not the brightest spark sometimes, me. I have collaged the whole thing shut before. Right. I'll try and drop a link below to all of the different digitals that I'm using. This, I think, is Rachel's from Roxy Creations, which is a gorgeous kit if you get the chance to pop across and get it. And then I think the script I've picked, that might be Antique Papery, I think, but I'll put the links down to them all anyway so that you can see. I mean, if you wanted to, I suppose one way of doing this would be to draw your shape on the back, collage the whole thing, which would make it easy for these awkward the awkward lines, and then cut around and then do the backing paper, and that would, like, you know, I suppose it would cut out one stage of this, but yeah. And it would be just as easy to draw on the inside of the envelope as it would to draw on the outside. I'm not very good with precision cutting. Not in a rush anyway. There we go. Okay, that's that done. See, once you've got that bit covered, you know, it's fine. Let's see, where did we find that script? Let's just, I think this is Antique Papery, this one. I'm pretty sure. So we've continued to watch Castle because, do you know what, I love that show, and I forgot how much I loved it, you know. So it's like revisiting with an old friend. It's fantastic, you know. You get that kind of familiar feeling, and it's not too stressful on the brain. It's just fun. And Nathan Fillion, I've got to say, is one of my favourite actors. I've loved him ever since he starred in Buffy, and then he did, oh, Serenity. I think that was it, yeah. And then, oh yeah, he's a great actor. I think I kind of want the title up there, just for a change. Let's do it, because that is such a yummy age in there. I don't want to lose that. So let's just do that and give it a go. This is, I'm being very careful because this is a very old book and it's very fragile. So, and you can see where it's cracked a bit. See if we can repair that little, nope. A little bit of ink will take care of that though. So let's just pop that on. And I've put a little bit extra glue on just because I've told you before, old books get very thirsty for glue. Yeah, a little tiny bit of ink. Let's just, that'll take care of that bit. There we are, perfect. Right, now we just need a tiny little bit for there. I kind of like the idea of a rose, so let's do that. Kind of losing all of that script, but that's okay. And because I'm not bothered about the back of this because it's going to turn into a pocket, I'm just folding it over because we're not bothered with the back. It's not a problem. So there we go, and there's that one finished. And now all we need to do is we need to find, where did I put the little tag part? Now this is going to be the thing, guys. Will I have lost the tag part? Probably. So aha, found it. There we go. So we want to collage this so that we've got a focal point about there. So let's decide on what we want our focal point to be before we start. That's about right. Okay, let's see what focal points we've got in amongst our bits and pieces. I'm just going to have a rake through and see if I can find something really pretty on one of the pages that I've got. Let's see. Oh, there's some of Gail's. That would be a nice focal point, wouldn't it? Let's just tear it out and then we can get a better idea of what it's going to look like. So I'm not sure if it'll be a bit too dark. And we would have to lose some of it. Okay, so that's going to make a cute little focal point with the fairy and the little girl. Okay, let's do that. So I'm just going to leave a little mark, just so I know where the top of it is. And let's just get this on. Oh, we need some new glue page. I'm going to do another one of these tags because these will be perfect for putting in to these little file folders. Right. Now, I would say I would leave the back in white, but I'm thinking I want it to be the same as the inside. So I'm just going to let this fold over because it doesn't matter because I'm going to back it. So there we go. Right, let's just check we've got our focal point in the right place. Finger's not working. Okay, there we go. Right. Oh yeah, that's perfect. We've got our lovely little focal point. Excellent. Now let's just collage the rest of this. We don't have to worry about the bit that's going to flip over the back because that's going to disappear. Let's have a little bit of this, kind of like that. That way I think will be fine. Right. Now, rather than waste that, I'm going to pop that on the top as well. There we go. I kind of like that. It seems like it's all framed. Lovely. Let's just fold that round. And I've gone over where that hinge is going to be, just so we're you know, we're covered. We're not going to have anything poking through. I'll probably have to just chop that off. Now, let's get a piece of our coffee dyed paper. You know what, I've probably got a piece that is exactly the right length, width. So, and it will save us, there you go, it will save us having to trim that down. So let's just get that for size. There we go. Wasn't that a lucky happenstance? I like that side better. I've been tea dyeing some of me laces, so I thought, well, while I'm tea dyeing the laces, use them to put some patterns onto some of me papers. So that's what I've been doing, and I've come up with some interesting patterns. I'll show you a few of them in a moment, but I mean, sometimes they've come through really, really clear, and other times not so much, but you know, it's been a nice little experiment, and I think I will do it again. Right, just get that fold back in. Now let's see if any of this needs trimming down. Just a little bit there. I mean, you don't have to trim it down if you're not bothered about the. I'm not going to bother doing that little bit at the bottom because it's only a tiny little bit. But yeah, that bit at the top needs doing. Let's just neaten that up a bit. There we are. Now the last thing to do is to attach this, so let's get it in the right place where we want it. That looks about right. Yeah, okay. And then we're simply going to put some glue on the other side of that, trying not to lose where we've decided to put it. One last check. Yep, that's right. And then we have our lovely flip out, and this one's quite long, so it goes all the way to the bottom, and then it's a nice focal point, and that's it. Ta-da! Done. So yeah, and I quite like doing these. They're quite nice, and you can use them in a variety of different ways. Like I said, you could collage the back and have it sitting over the edge of a page, or you know, you could just have it clipped onto a page as a floating pocket or a floating file folder, I should say. But you've got lots and lots of journaling space in there, and it just makes another use of those beautiful windows. And don't you just love, oh yeah, I love that sound. So there's my little take on it, and I shall show you the other ones again if I can find them. And there we go. So there's the other ones. And what you could do when you're decorating these, I tell you what, let's decorate it, because then we'll be able to see. Let's see. Now, I have some words, and I want to put the words on there. So we need two words the same, or similar, I should say. Explore, I think, would be a good one. That would sit nice there. And then Collage. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Right, we'll put them on. These are just, if you're wondering what these are, all I did with these is I have sat down at the computer, onto Word, typed out loads of different words that I like, so that I've got a sheet full of words. And then I've just copied and pasted them, and then changed them all into different fonts. And then I've printed those out and then tea-dyed them. And then you just tear them up, and then you've got all of these lovely words. It's a very simple thing to do, and you know, you get loads of words to use, and you can have the words that you like rather than sticking with words, you know, that might be on somebody else's idea, you know. So let's see, let's find a nice label. I've got a peachy one there. That might work. I don't like it next to them flowers. So let's keep looking. We've got a few. I don't think the red will work. Let's have a look. I don't think the round will work either. No. Nope. Maybe a blue. No, it's the wrong type of blue. What about one of these ones? These ones I think came with one of Rachel's kits. I'm not sure. Oh yes. Oh, we like that. We like that. Okay. Doing right. Now these words I've just roughly tore them. You know what, I'm not even going to try and tidy them up. I'm going to put a little bit of ink on them just to define them a little bit. But I'm not going to be too heavy-handed with the ink, because I don't think they need it. And I kind of like the idea that they're rough torn. I mean, you could sit down if you wanted, if you didn't like the idea of them being torn, you could cut them out with some scissors or with one of your paper cutters. You know, it's very simple to do. And it's a great way of getting a bunch of ephemera quickly. And if you don't have Word, how would you do it? I suppose you could do it in Publisher or something similar, or there's a really great app that I sometimes use called iPicky, and it's kind of a publishing app where you can go and you can alter all of your photos, you can make collages, you can do all sorts on it. You can also put text into it. So yeah, there are, and I know iPicky's not the only one. There's another one called Something Monkey, which I don't know, but iPicky is the one that I use anyway, and that's a good way of making some ephemera. And yeah, and why not make some of your own ephemera? Explore. and then we'll put Collage inside, because one needs to have courage to explore. Without courage you would never leave the house. There we go, and that one's done, and I just think that looks so cute. I love it. I love it to pieces. And yeah, it's just a different type of ephemera, something different. I think I'll put a little bit, you know, it needs something there as well, doesn't it? Here's me. Never can let it lie. Let's see. Maybe that peach would look nice there. Oh yes, 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 yes. That ties it all in. I like it. I like it. And it's the overall kind of feel of this piece. I think it's peachy keen. Now I want to go and watch Grease. Yeah, there we go. So there we are. So we've got our labels on, and it's just a cute little file folder, don't you think? I love it. And the window is an extra, added extra. So there you go. That's my take on, you'll have to excuse me robe, I'm freezing, so I've got it on over my jumper. That's my take on a file folder made with these window envelopes, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that you like them, and I'll drop a link down below to all of the digitals that I've used. I know there's Antique Papery, there's Gail Agostinelli, there's Rachel from Roxy Creations. You know, there's a few. So Artsology, yeah, there's a bit of Artsology. So I'll drop a link to them in the underneath the video. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you did, give it a like and drop me a comment and tell me what you think. Do you think they're a nice idea? How would you use them? Would you use them as a pocket, as a tuck? Would you use them as a clip-on? Let me know. What do you think? What would be your favourite way of using them? I'm really interested, and because your ideas give me ideas, and then I can create things to show to you. So that's great, isn't it? So I'm going to stop waffling because the caffeine's finally kicked in. Hence the waffling, and I will let you go. Please stay safe, stay happy, and happy crafting. Bye.